My name is Matt Backus, and I am a computer science and programming teacher and a tech integrator at the Dunecrest American School in Dubai. I am coming to you today to share with you a little bit about a unique law and regulation that exists in the UAE. That regulation is that aside from the normal certification that a teacher might require in order to teach in the UAE coming from their own country, they also need to have a teaching certification program that runs here in the UAE in order to qualify them to teach here. It's not quite as rigid as the one that you might have back in your own country, but it does require a series of exams and a series of tests and some practical work in order to make sure that you are fit for the job. So let's unpack a little bit about this requirement and a little bit about the UAE. The first standard addressed by the exam has to do with professional and ethical conduct of the teacher. So the teacher needs to demonstrate that they are committed to life and to educating students in the values of the United Arab Emirates. They need to make sure that they are promoting the national education vision and direction, and that they are also promoting cultural awareness and global citizenship. Most importantly, the educator must always demonstrate integrity by following both international and national rules for the Code of Ethics for teachers. Standard number 2 means that the teacher has to demonstrate knowledge of learning, development, and diversity. So they really have to know their stuff. They have to be able to integrate the knowledge of learning, and they also have to make sure that that applies to different genders, different backgrounds, and different learning experiences of all of the students. They also need to have knowledge of cognitive differences in their teaching practices and show how they do that in related activities. Basically, they need to have knowledge of learner diversity. Standard number 3 has to do with promoting positive learning environments in the classroom. It starts with establishing high expectations for your learners and providing appropriate levels of support and challenge. You need to be able to utilize your space well, you need to be able to utilize your resources well, and you need to promote a culture of positive behavior management. So this has less to do with the topics of what you are teaching and more how you are doing the teaching and organizing. The fourth and final standard has to do with your professional growth as an educator. You need to be able to reflect critically upon yourself, upon your teaching practice, and make sure that those reflections are able to be used to better yourself. You also need to be able to engage in a certain amount of professional growth, including professional development opportunities offered inside and outside of your school, not only taking those opportunities, but also providing them to others as appropriate. How does this law affect the day-to-day functioning of our school and our teaching and learning? Well, the answer to that is that it makes teachers want to be and have to be on top of their game with their subject matters. They not only need to be on top of what they are teaching, but also how they are teaching. It provides that baseline to make sure that all teachers who are here clearly know what they are doing and have a very solid grasp of their subject material, about classroom management, about the morals and ethics of the country that we are working in, and also to make sure that everything is aligned with what the country is making sure is an excellent sense of education and quality that's available at private schools in this country. The history of this regulation dates back 5 years, where the aim of the government and the Ministry of Education was to improve the quality of teaching and improve the standard that teachers had in order to come and work in the UAE. Moving up to the current perspective on that It just means that for us as teachers, we know that all of us, as well as our colleagues, are licensed and able to do the job as best as we possibly can.